The line graph compares the sales of two different types of books across 4 quarters. The blue line starts at 350 units in Q1 and decreases to 250 in Q2 and 180 in Q3. However, it then rises sharply to 380 units in Q4. In contrast, the green line begins at around 210 units in Q1 and falls to its lowest point of 100 units in Q2. After that, it increases significantly to 250 units in Q3 and reaches a peak of 440 units in Q4. Overall, both categories show fluctuations, but the green series finishes at a considerably higher level than the blue series.
The bar graph illustrates the level of facility completeness in 5 different schools. School A has the highest level, at 90%, followed by School C at 85%. School B records 75%, while School E stands at 70%. School D has the lowest level of facility completeness, at 60%. Overall, School A has the most complete facilities, whereas School D has the least. The difference between the highest and lowest figures is 30 percentage points.
The pie chart illustrates the global distribution of languages according to the number of speakers. Other languages account for the largest share, at 30%, followed by Mandarin at 19% and English at 17%. Hindi represents 13%, while Spanish accounts for 8%. French makes up 7%, and Arabic has the smallest proportion, at 6%. Overall, the chart shows that other languages collectively have the largest share, while Arabic represents the smallest percentage among the listed languages.
The diagram illustrates the water cycle and the continuous movement of water through the environment. First, the sun heats the water in the ocean, causing it to evaporate and rise into the atmosphere. The water vapor then forms clouds. As the clouds become heavier, water falls back to the ground as rainfall. The rainwater flows down the mountains and collects in streams, rivers, and lakes, eventually returning to the ocean. Some of the water also seeps into the soil and forms underground water reserves. Overall, the diagram shows how water continuously circulates between the ocean, atmosphere, land, and underground areas. The image presents two maps showing the frequency of heat waves and hurricanes across the United States. The upper map illustrates heat wave frequency. The highest levels are mainly concentrated in the western and central parts of the country, while several northern and interior areas show relatively lower frequencies. The lower map displays hurricane frequency. The highest levels are found mainly along the Gulf Coast, Florida, and the Atlantic coast, whereas the western and northern inland regions generally experience lower frequencies. Overall, the maps show that heat waves are more widespread across the western and central United States, while hurricanes are more concentrated in the southern and eastern coastal regions.
The table presents data on the major causes of death in the USA in 2016, along with the corresponding number of deaths. According to the table, abortion has the highest figure, with 501,325 deaths, followed by heart disease at 282,038 and cancer at 271,640. Tobacco-related deaths account for 160,680, while obesity and medical errors record 140,939 and 115,439, respectively. The figures then decline considerably. Lower respiratory disease accounts for 65,623 deaths, while accidents and strokes are around 62,460 and 61,106. Other causes, including infections, alcohol, Alzheimer's disease, and diabetes, have lower figures. At the bottom of the table, kidney failure, drunk driving, blood infection, unintentional poisoning, drug abuse, prescription drug overdose, and murder by gun record comparatively smaller numbers, with murder by gun having the lowest figure of 5,276. Overall, the table shows a wide variation in the number of deaths across different causes. with the highest figures concentrated among the leading categories. The diagram illustrates how solar energy is converted, stored, and used as electricity. First, sunlight reaches the solar panels, where solar energy is captured and converted into electrical energy. The electricity is then transferred through the system and can be stored in a battery. Next, a transformer helps process the electricity before it is supplied to different devices. The stored energy can also be directed toward an electrical appliance, such as a light bulb, which uses the generated power. Overall, the diagram shows the process of collecting solar energy, converting it into electricity, storing it, and finally using it for electrical purposes.
The image presents a survey of 590 developers about the platforms they target with their apps. The bar chart shows that Android has the highest figure, with 221 developers, followed by iOS at 207 and Web at 153. Windows is selected by 46 developers, while BlackBerry has the lowest figure, at 15. The table provides a more detailed comparison. For Web, the figures are 370 for Focus, 153 as a must-have, 33 support it, 23 sometimes, and 11 not at all. For iOS, the corresponding figures are 261, 207, 53, 28, and 41. For Android, the values are 182, 221, 102, 47, and 38. Windows records 10, 46, 131, 173, and 230, while BlackBerry has 8, 15, 100, 164, and 303. Overall, Android and iOS appear to be the most important mobile platforms, while Windows and BlackBerry have much lower priority among the developers surveyed. The image shows a cozy study and relaxation setup near a window. There is a small vase of pink and white flowers on the left, while a cup of coffee is placed near the top center. A camera can be seen on the right, along with a lit candle and a pair of glasses. In the center, there is an open notebook with a pen, surrounded by small colorful stationery items. A soft knitted fabric is also visible on the right side. Overall, the image presents a peaceful, creative, and comfortable atmosphere, combining elements of work, photography, and relaxation.
The flowchart illustrates the process of online shopping, starting from selecting a product and ending with its delivery. First, the customer visits an online shopping website or opens an app and browses through different products. After selecting an item, it is added to the shopping cart, where the customer reviews the products and total price. Next, the customer logs in or creates an account and enters the delivery address and contact details. After that, a suitable payment method is selected, and the payment is completed. Once the order is placed, the customer receives an order confirmation. The seller then processes the order, packs the items, and ships them. Finally, the order is delivered to the customer, completing the entire process.